I'll do it.
All right.
Hey, good evening, everyone. So you are live with Natty, Garth, and Nella. There's going to be a few people joining in a little later on, but tonight we are talking about poly life. What you got to say about it? Let's hear it.
Polyandry, polygamy, all types of polys.
Okay, so I have the definitions here. Polygamy is being in love with more than one person at the same time. Polyandry is a woman having multiple husbands. Polygamy is having more than one husband or wife at the same time. There is polyfidelity, where all members are equal. It's like a group marriage where you guys are just having sex within the group. So you guys can have sex with each other, just nobody outside of the group. Then there's something that is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like polygygnandry, and that's having multiple mates for the purpose of breeding.
Wow, that sounds like some tribal stuff. What you think about that? Sound like what you were saying. Is that?
Dude, that one was tribal. The group thing, that was tribal because, you know, a tribe runs with the tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, what was that last one again?
That was multiple mates for breeding.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that sounds too controlled to me. I don't even like how that's put. It sounds too controlled. Like I just got up for breeding. Damn.
But
oh yeah, and the first one, I got a question about that first one. Repeat that.
Okay, I said polyamory, being in love with more than one person at the same time.
Okay, so tell me, how do you feel about that one? Because that one's a little, to me, that's a trick type of statement.
I really don't even, I feel like polyamory is sort of like the umbrella where all of these should be playing under, you know, like all these other ones should be under them, because it's like, well, why would you, for example, the multiple breeding and all this stuff, like why would you be in a group or a tribe with people that you aren't like mutually in love with and want to benefit, you know, like, so I'm not sure. I feel like that's just like a blanket statement, a blanket term.
So how do you feel? Tell me how you feel about the word love.
Love, okay. Love, I feel like love is conditional and it does not actually exist. I think love is a fairy tale.
You don't think love exists at all?
Mm-mm.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask you another question. Tell me why you don't think love exists.
All right. Well, let's look up the definition of love. All right.
Nah. We going books, our definitions. We going strictly by.
Well, I wanted to give
the divine feeling. So tell me how you feel within your universe about love,
within
and why
my
you
universe. I feel like I have not experienced love. I've only experienced. You can hear me?
Yeah.
I said I've only experienced conditions.
I can't hear nothing. You just went out completely.
Can you hear me? Mute yours.
Say it again.
Garth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Shoot, I can hear you barely.
Try to mute your mic. Can you got like functions?
Might be somebody try to call me or something.
You can pull up your functions. Try to mute your mic. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Try to mute your mic. Let me see if I can mute it for you. I'm hold on. I'm gonna just let her talk and then I'll unmute it. Let me see something.
Cool. Cool. So can you hear me, Natty?
Give me like a
thumbs up. Oh, his.
Hold on. Let me unmute his mic. Where'd it go?
He might have went out to come back.
I don't know. I pressed the button. I don't know if I did that. I got like.
You guys were having technical difficulties. It's our first.
Nah, we good now. So back on the love thing.
All right.
All right. Cool.
So to answer your question, I feel like in my current existence, I haven't experienced real love for me to have hope for it. I have come across a lot of people in many different situations, whether it's been family, friends, or partners who have said that they love me, but the love has been with conditions. So to me, love does not exist without conditions. And if there's conditions, then that's a contract. That's not love.
Okay, so tell me this. Would you say your mother loves you?
I would say my mother has an obligation to me, but would I say that my mom loves me? No.
So you don't think your mama loves you?
I,
You think your mama would die for you?
no, I know she won't.
Okay. But see, boy, I can't speak for somebody who ain't never experienced it.
Right, exactly. So I'm just only speaking through my existence. That's why I wanted to pull up the definition of love to, compare that definition to what I've experienced. But from me, like I have a different background than most people. So,
Yeah.
I claim you experienced it.
what?
You hear me? I claim you have experienced it, but
You
you just
think I
never.
have?
Yeah, but you
Maybe
just
I
never.
didn't
You just wasn't
acknowledge
able
it.
to identify it.
Yeah, she
Because
didn't know what it was.
what it really is not what that definition is about to tell you. But go ahead and read the definition.
No, he told me not to read it. So, well, let him go ahead and say what he thinks love is.
I think you should read the definition.
All right, I'm gonna put up etymology.com, but I can't see your screen, Natty.
Shoot, if I pull back up my screen, I ain't gonna be able to hear you.
Okay, that's fine. All right. The definition of love from my etymology application.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
We'll keep it going though.
Go ahead.
The definition here is strong.
Oh, what's going on?
He needs to mute his.
Oh, my bad.
All right, thank you. Strong affection and intense feeling of affection and care towards one another, a deep, abiding liking for something, a profound and caring attraction towards someone. The object
Exactly.
of one's romantic feelings or a darling sweetheart or a sexual desire, sexual activity. So based off that definition, yeah, I've experienced love. And I would say, yes, my mom loves me, but for my personal definition of love, I don't know. Love has a lot of conditions.
Nah, real love is unconditional. No conditions. I
haven't had the pleasure to experience that yet.
And real love, in my opinion, especially in a Babylon, what I call Babylon, because that's where we stay in America. In a Babylon, it's hard to come by. In a Babylon, real love is hard to come by. Just because we so brainwashed with what's been thrown at us through TV, electronics, day-to-day lives, and all that to even really feel love. You know what I'm saying?
Like, would you consider obsession love?
Nah, not obsession, because obsession is more in a sense of I wanna become you. Like I just want to swallow you up. That's what obsessed is.
If like a man is obsessed with me, then he wants to become me.
Somewhat, yeah. If he's obsessed with you, in my opinion, because an obsession is like a must-have. You know what I'm saying? Like I must have you.
Yeah, but
like there's no way.
It's a strong affection, though. It's an intense feeling of
but you see how. But check it. Let me tell you something about how to break down the internet. The first definition was the best one. All of those other ones is in the subgroups and different forms of love and breaking all the way down. Like I said, true love, in my opinion, is unconditional. There's no conditions. That's what love is. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got somebody on your side who's gonna do anything for you. You know, just out the back of that they love you. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't gonna, guess what? Ain't no condition laid on, because guess what? They ain't gonna ask you for nothing back.
All right.
It's just gonna be is what it is.
I guess my mama loves me. That's about it, though. I said, I guess my mama loves me.
Shoot, she birthed you. You came through that womb. You know how hard it was for her? Real talk.
So along with the terms of polyamory, they had open marriage, open relationship, group marriage, and I wrote swinger. So I want to talk about the difference between swinging, because as we spoke earlier, we were saying, okay, so I want to know the difference between swinging and polygamy. Yeah. So what's the difference, and what's the difference between just having an open marriage?
Shoot, polygamy, I think is just, I mean, bad. If we want to go literal, bad definition wise, I think it's just being with different partners.
So what's the
But
difference between
swinging,
having multiple partners and swinging?
swinging is, I don't know, swinging is on some other shit.
It is.
That's basically like homosexuality and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of stuff involved with swinging. That's just you down for whatever. You just doing anything. So I'm not with nothing that's against nature. If it defies nature's laws, I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on that. I think swinging is on a whole nother level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What about polygamy? What about polygyny?
What's polygamy?
Polygamy is when a man has multiple wives.
Oh, okay.
I'm back. Y'all
How
can
you
hear me?
feel about that? Yeah, man.
Okay, perfect.
How you feel about that?
Personally, I'm a Scorpio, and they say that we're supposed to be jealous and all that stuff. I'm very territorial. But I have been in a relationship with more than another woman as well as myself, with a man being the center. We stayed in the same house, and it was good for a long time, but then the communication started to get fuzzy, because I mean, I guess I would say I was the main wife, and the other young lady was trying to engage more than I was engaging, you know. I Yeah, so I felt like she was trying to do some sneaky stuff to try to make it a monogamous relationship and sort of like ease me on out of there. So I had to put an end to that, because yeah, that was crazy.
So there's some backstabbing going on.
So I feel, and there's actually a situation with someone that's pretty a public figure online, was with their spouse for over 17 years. Well, since they were 17, and the same thing happened with them. The woman came in and she was trying to have a monogamous relationship with the man. So it's sort of very difficult to have a relationship like that, because there's always there's always that one person that wants a little bit more, and wants to be sneaky, and that's not right. There
But
isn't
how
clear
could it be?
communication.
So my first question to that is, how can it be sneaky when everything's there? You know what I'm saying? It's all there.
Well,
Like
because
y'all stand.
the
Go
person
ahead.
has the person has accelerated emotions that they aren't expressing. So now they're displaying certain behaviors to sort of either cause conflict or to cause separation between the other two. So like, for example, like causing confusion, so that like the man could fight with the other woman, or there'd be some sort of confusion between the other man, so that she looks better, you know, in his eyes, like more suitable.
Hmm.
All right, I'm all yours. So, I all I heard was she looks better in her eyes, more suitable.
Okay,
Right.
she does conniving things to make herself look better, like
So, so
less
she was trying to
responsive.
boot you out of it. Like she was trying to remove you out of the picture. Is what you're saying?
In sneaky ways, instead of having an open dialogue and saying, hey, look, I'm developing more feelings, and I, you know, want to
I'm
try.
developing more feelings.
Yeah.
All right, so look.
If it's a situation where there's one man
You want
and
me?
two women,
You want me to tell you where? You want me to tell you where? Like, you know why it didn't work? Because you and her wasn't building. Y'all sisters. Y'all supposed to have a sisterhood. Y'all was supposed to have been building.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't think that there wasn't no building, because this person was my friend before she even knew the dude, and she started liking the dude. So
right.
I brought this person into the relationship because this was my friend. This was not someone that I met yesterday. It was someone that I had known for a little while. So we've never had any issues. So it wasn't that we weren't building. We were building. We were together more than we was with the other man. But once she got the dick, she must have felt, got stigmatized, and I don't know.
Like she deserved it more than you did.
I have no idea.
That's what it sounded like. That she was going all out.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Women, I mean, I don't know. I guess. Go ahead.
No, I think it's definitely important for us to have this conversation. Like I said in the beginning, that a lot of people practice polygamy without necessarily identifying that that's what they're doing.
Right.
And I feel as though the non-practice or practicing it incorrectly is a big key to like the destruction of certain households, the black household. What do you guys have to say about that? Like the destruction of the black family. You have some bitter men, you have some bitter women that have been in relationships that didn't work out, and they left those situations bitter. I personally feel as though these are immature, emotionally immature people running around, causing more emotionally immature individuals.
I agree. Man, it just all boils down to how, you know what I'm saying, how you feel and how she feels, you know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to, at the end of the day. But I think as far as the polygamy relationships, like, they only work if there's a sisterhood, you know what I'm saying?
Communication.
It has to be a sisterhood. It has to be a sisterhood, bro. Like, has to be a sisterhood, man. That's the only way it's gonna work. Otherwise, too many feelings is gonna get involved. Really ain't even that deep.
So a lot of times what I encounter is like, women, they tell me like, oh, that's not what I'm into. I'm not into that. And if I'm with a man, he gonna have to like, choose my views, my way or the highway. A lot of times when I present this subject, it's always turned down in that type of matter.
I can't argue with that. And that's on the flip side. You wanna know why I can't argue with that, bro? You know what it is? These women are not having children no more, is what it is, man. Because if you look back in the day, go 10 years back, 20 years back, 30 years back, it's one woman that was pushing out like 13 kids, 15 children. You know what I'm saying? That was common. So that's what it boils down to. They not birthing a nation, bro. That's why all of this, polygamy stuff, all of this stuff is popping up, bro. Because women are not really birthing no more. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, okay.
But I think they putting it out there, bro, not to have babies. If you're doing your research, they putting it in the food. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta have BPA free bottles. They putting estrogen in that. They turning niggas homo. I don't know if you
try to build a nation when we're out working as well. So it's very difficult to have an.
You said without working?
No, we are working. So how are we going to be birthing 13 children or whatever you just said if we are also working and we don't have the confidence in men that we will have security. For a woman, our priority is security, and nobody is going to be having multiple children. When men want women to pay half for everything, there's always arguments that men want women to pay half for rent and all this stuff. So how are we going to have more than, I'm not going to set myself up for some sort of failure like that. No, men have not shown that they are consistent and will stay, or if they don't stay, like, you are a different type of man, because you've already stated that if you have, you know, a seed, that even if you're with the mother or not, you're still going to take care of where your seed is resting. But not every man has that mentality, and on a larger scale, men don't have that mentality. It's very hard to find that.
You're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
You talking about the brother's mentality? Not to. Yeah, so I kind of like find it hard to grasp that. Like, you know, I still have a few questions on that aspect. Like, me being territorial with me, and you know, I kind of find it hard to rest within myself, knowing that my wife is out there screwing another man, or someone I love, something precious to me, is out there, you know, screwing on something else other than me.
Yeah.
And you saying,
but guess
like,
what?
Cool.
Guess what you gonna have to do? Guess what you gonna have to do, bro? Just like the animal. I'm going back to animals out in the wild. You gonna have to hold down your fort. You feel me? It's a fight, bro. Cause somebody else will come take your girl and pipe your girl. You feel me? So you gotta be doing the same. I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You be hearing it in a rap song. It's some niggas, that's they goal. And guess what? On the flip side, they not even trying to make no life. They not even trying to have no child. They ready to bust in a rubber. They don't even want to make a seed. That's all they want to do is say they hit your girl. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you don't believe like you can get like a level of, like, you know, you can establish a level of communication with you and your mate?
No, my communication is solid, bro. Like, I've been with my mate for 7 years, so like I kind of built my castle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there for my children, bro. You know what I'm saying? I made sure we had a place to stay. You know, whatever I had to do, I just got it done. I just been living life. I mean, I was raised to take care of my own. You know what I'm saying? So I follow some of the same principles that was instilled with me from birth. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
let me ask you this.
what's up?
Is there anything, you know, God forbid, is there anything that she could do to make you not want to deal with her anymore and only focus on, like, you know, providing for, you know, your children?
Absolutely.
Because, you know,
you want to know what it is?
In my opinion, like, that would be something like that is, like, you know, that deep, which will make
I don't even worry about it. I don't even worry about that. I done, like I said, the Kundalini chakras, I done mastered them all, just like the Zodiac. I don't even worry about that, bro. I'm playing around in my subconscious, like, you know what I'm saying, literally deleting certain thoughts out of my memory bank like they don't even exist. So I'm shaping my own reality. I'm at that point. So once again, it's just all in your perception, bro. The only thing that can get to you is what you let get to you. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not sure, like, you know, just looking in within myself, I'm not sure if it's the ego, if it's logics, or, you know, how to look at it. But I kind of like strongly feel that way, like
about what?
About it's funny, but about, like, necessarily sharing my woman. Like, you know, what's mine is mine. That's how I feel.
Exactly. But if she makes the choice to go out and lay with another man, that was her choice. You see what I'm saying?
That wouldn't be my woman.
Huh?
That wouldn't be someone who I would decide to say, yeah, this is my woman. If I knew that she thought that way,
you never know, bro.
Take it there. No, I wouldn't know, because, like, you know, I would want to know before I would advance. I would like to know everything about what I'm investing in.
The only thing, you know, see, you said investment. Once again, you getting on the legal aspect. Be careful of your words, bro, because you speaking spells. So when you say an investment, that's no love there. There's no none of that there. You know what I'm saying? You saying an investment.
Yeah, I mean, I still look at, okay, so that's funny. Before I left, we was talking about love, and you was giving, like, you know, I think the Queen was giving an example of love, and I didn't get a chance to put my input on that, but love is the sustainability of life, okay? So I want to ask you, Nella, have you ever had someone try to sustain your life? nourish you, give you some food, care about you. Hey, are you hungry?
Yes.
That was love. You know, so that's love. Like that's love. I realize that's what love is the sustainability of life. Anyone who's out there sustaining their life or caring about your well-being, that's a form of love. There's different levels and degrees to what love is
That's
about.
love. That's love, bro.
Yeah.
You just gave an excellent definition. That is love. He said nurture you and care about you. That's love.
There was something that I
Goes.
wanted to say with your comment when you was asking about losing time. And with this whole investment comment, are you losing anything if you're only supposed to be experiencing with these people anyways? Like,
Oh,
if you make
I
an
don't know.
investment, why
I'm
does it
aware
have
that.
to? Why does the investment have to be a long-term investment? There's short-term investments that, regardless if you guys learn something, you grow and you get to the next stage. Isn't that beneficial?
I'm not sure how
Yeah.
many other people can relate to like where I'm coming from, but like I'm pretty strict about things that I invest time and energy into. I don't like
I
wasting my
feel
time.
you. I
Do,
feel
do you know
that.
the feeling of Do you know the feeling of wasting your time? Like, damn, I could have been. You know how many other things I could have been doing. And this didn't go the way how I wanted it to. Oh man,
Yeah.
you know the feeling
That
of
goes
getting
into
this.
passion.
Yeah, you that can depress you for a while. That can really shut you down
Yeah.
psychologically. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of putting myself in that position.
Yeah.
So to
It.
prevent, you understand, to prevent all of that, like I properly screen people and filter people and choose where I put my next foot forward. So that's what I mean by as far as investing. I'm putting my time, putting my heart, my soul, and everything into something that won't last longer than 3 months.
Right.
So I'm setting myself up to be bitter, right?
I
You
Who do
see.
said
I
what
blame?
now?
I'm setting myself up to become a bitter man and point the finger at the person who the relationship wouldn't last past a 3 month period, and I put myself in that position. So now I blame that person for the whole experience and everything. That's what we have going on. So that's what
Yeah.
I
You
mean
right.
by choosing who you invest your time and your energy and all of that into.
You right, bro. I agree with you too. That's why I said we could talk about it. It's gonna keep going three ways at a time. We a
Yeah.
powerhouse right now. It's three of us on the phone right now. You know what I'm saying? The Trinity. You got the 3, the 6, the 9, which is completion.
So like yeah. So let's all right. Relationship. Standard relationship is like you got husband and wife, and that's how they get down. That's how they do their thing, right? Um, this is just me. I would like to like open up a dialogue of the polygamy and why I kind of like embrace polygamy myself. I'm not in a polygamous relationship. I'm actually single. I don't have a bunch of females. I only have one right now, right? But it is something that I do desire. Uh, let's see. When I look around, I look at the contemporary relationship
Turn it down a little bit.
or the conventional. When I look at the conventional relationship, it's all fine and dandy. One of the reasons why I embrace it is because I'm African American and I see like you have a lot of African American males being shot down. We're dying out, right?
Yeah.
You have like all types of issues, mental psychosis is within the diaspora of my people. Fair to say, that's me beating around the bush. I'm in a public setting, so I'm sure you can pick up where I'm putting down as far as like orientations. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this being said, there's a lot more women out there, right? And I see a lot
Of
of
course.
bitter women and I understand why they're bitter. And just by me acknowledging these facts, it makes me want to do something about it. You understand? I have a strong urge to like want to save and unbitter and heal. But I carefully select who I have in my circle and who I choose to be around and who I choose to invest my time into. Because I don't want to set myself up for any failure or running into any brick walls. Um, I believe that you know if I had like a strong structure, me and three other women, and we were to work together, as far as conquering this thing called life, a lot of this in the economical aspect, group economics. If I was to establish and practice group economics with me and three young ladies, I feel as though success is there. I know that success is there. I
So
you
if
know
you're not willing to share your wife with another man, what? How do you convince a woman that it's okay for her to share you with other women?
All right, so in a situation like this, if I was in a situation like that, it's all about communication. What I'm voicing right now is my heart's desire as a man. I cannot fight the nature. Like, a lot of I'm asking for, the women out there to respect my nature as a man. Like, I'm
Hey, can
just,
I say this real quick?
yeah,
It's just hit me. I will say this: women are more prone to be with one man. I mean, with one man than a man is to be with one woman. I was just gonna say that.
yeah. So I'm not saying that it can't happen. Like, me be faithful to one woman for the rest of my life, so on and so forth. But what I am saying is I will feel some type of way within. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to go creep off and cheat on my wife. I would want to just be straight up raw and for her to understand. Like, listen, I need a little. I need to experience what something different feel like. Okay, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of men. We
So
need
it's
to
about the
experience.
sex.
No, it's about the experience. It's about like the communication with someone else, stimulating someone else, and getting stimulated by someone else. Feeling good within, like, wow, I got her, accomplishment, many different things. So knowing this, it makes me hard to get into any type of relationship because I know secretly within me, um, I feel this way, and I might see something and I might break that law. You get me? So, um, and now I'm aware that women feel the same way. So we have people getting in relationships lying to each other.
What
I'm just
happened
trying,
to?
within this build, I'm just trying to get to some type. Hopefully, like, we can teach our viewers. I want you to, like, explain to me your point of view to the fullest. Which lane do you support? Throwing that out there. I'm kind of like, I feel as though I have to defend polygamy because a lot of people give it, like, wrong terms and they place wrong titles on it. It's not a sexual aspect. You won't hear me talk about sex in regards to polygamy within this bill.
Bro, all of that stuff boils down to sex to me. That's just my opinion.
Not to me though. It's more on an economical aspect.
Bro, if you look at the rest of the
It,
world, bro, in tribes and all that, the women are with the women and the men are with the men, bro. And they only come, like, what I'm saying, they come together like through spiritual dance and cooking and different stuff like that. So, like, we could talk, I think we more so on a, like, a sociable aspect of a relationship in general. You know what I'm saying? I could say social and commercially still.
yeah,
Does that make sense though? You get where I'm coming from?
yeah. I'm listening.
Like, I don't know, man.
Nah, you
I
speaking
feel like,
facts.
and then I also feel like, man, if you're not procreating with a woman, like, it's not no relationship, man. Like, if you look throughout history, if the woman couldn't bear children, they just was pretty much nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's what the earth do. It's just Mother Earth. Earth bears fruit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what goes on. That's the cycle of life.
So
Whether
would it be wrong with, like, okay, yeah, of course, like, I
what's
would have
up?
three wives, and yes, I would be breeding my three wives, right? What's wrong with
Like,
that?
hold on. It just hit me too. You
Yeah,
know your boy, Nature Boy. You heard of him?
I heard he ain't my boy though.
Nah. I
Hey,
didn't
my
say he
boy.
was your boy. I
No, I
said
feel
his
you.
name is Nature Boy.
I feel you. I feel you.
His name is Nature Boy. You heard me?
Yes,
And
sir.
everybody, I think he got like a little social group in Honduras, and they was like dudes a false prophet and this and that. But I looked into his whole thing, like, the women that he's practicing polygamy, but they not even having children. They said they wouldn't. Like, I actually commented on one of his girls uh like posts or something, and I was just like, so y'all together, but y'all not burning fruit. She was like, nah, no children for me. There's no reason to. and this and that. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, hold on, it's not making sense. This is polygamy, right?
A lot about that
So
probably don't make sense. But that's
so
none of
I
my business.
went.
But that's none of
So
my
I
business.
Yeah, one
what?
of his wives is pregnant now. One of his wives is pregnant now.
Okay,
They
so what
announced
was
it,
that
and
all?
they said that that was divine timing and stuff like that. When people are living pure with, eating pure and all this stuff, then the universe will align for them
That's
to,
the truth. That's the truth to me. I promise. I promise.
if that was the case, then all these women that's in the, all these women wouldn't be having babies with men that they don't even know.
What you mean? That was
There's a,
divine timing.
oh, okay.
Divine timing.
Shoot it.
Hold on. So I think my question. I asked the question. I'm not sure. I might have missed the answer. So
What's up?
what is wrong with I have 3 wives. I impregnate all 3 of my wives.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
Women have a problem with that.
Nothing's wrong with that, brother. You worry, but see, once again, it boils back into you worrying
But,
about what they think about it. Just do
but
you.
hold on. All right. So but none of those 3 women they cannot intercourse with any other man other than me. And
But
that's
see, that's
law. And that's
conditions.
law. And that's law. That's my condition. That's like my number 1 top condition.
Right. That's your law. That's your law, brother. You can lay your law. You a God. So if that's your law, it's your law. I ain't got nothing against it.
What's the issue? I'm sure a lot of I'm sure you said forget about them, but I would like to clarify that. Let's dissect that. Like let's go into that to explain to the people so they can understand and um, have a complete understanding of this topic, this question about
And I
multiple
don't like
partners
that
and
response about doing you. If he's the king of that empire, then he has to care about what each of those women think or feel, or else he's not handling his
No, he doesn't.
obligation, and they would feel neglected.
I
No,
would
he
care.
doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because if you look throughout
Thank you.
history, that didn't matter. That didn't matter.
So I say it does. I say it does because if you want something to last for a long time, it's like a what is that? Basically a contract or something that we're trying to establish, a covenant that I am establishing between 3 other individuals. I have to care, for us to keep that contract going, for that to continue to flow. It's the
Especially
reason why they
I
choose to.
disagree.
It's the reason.
especially if conflict arises between those 3 individuals, he is
I
the
disagree.
And
center piece that would need to be responsible to bringing peace between those 3 women. Yeah, he has to
yeah,
care.
I'm not a slave master. I wouldn't be operating any type of form of slavery or nothing like that. These are women
Nah,
who
this
choose
ain't
to
no
be with
form of
me.
slavery.
No, but
What I'm
listen,
talking about, brother, is not a form of slavery. I'm simply saying that okay, you got 3 women, you get them pregnant, they upset, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, life goes on and life is still moving. You feel what I'm saying? So that's getting into emotions. So are we saying emotions? Are we strictly talking about polygamy?
that I mean, it's like one and the same.
Nah, it's not.
You
I
had
don't think
to.
so.
There's a certain level of emotion that you had to exercise within a situation like that. I see Nella making faces. I mean, how would a woman feel in this? How would you
I
feel?
have a question. Do
Yeah.
you think that women are just here to birth babies? Like, do you hold like roles for women like that? Because
What do you
you're
mean?
like, do you think women are only here to birth babies, to build a nation?
Shoot, I mean, hey, that's the planet. This is a woman's planet. In my opinion, this planet is a woman's planet. Look at everything surrounding.
So a woman is not valuable if she doesn't have children?
I didn't say that. That's what you said.
No, it's a question. I didn't say it. I'm
No, I
asking.
didn't say that. I didn't say that a woman's not valuable unless she has children. I'm speaking of in a man's eyes, a man is gonna want children. That's all I'm saying. Period. Because a man has to lay his seed. You see what I'm saying? Leave off a piece of him. That's just a part of natural law. It's just what it is.
Okay.
That's just how I feel about it.
But if he has 3 wives
Yeah.
and he only gets two of them pregnant and one doesn't get pregnant. The other one has no reason to be his
She would
wife.
act as a midwife. She would act as a midwife. But it just, in my opinion, the just from having children and knowing the feeling, you know what I'm saying, of for that woman. I mean, I can't speak to everybody else, but it's not gonna be the same feeling as for the woman who doesn't have anything by that man, doesn't have a piece of him.
Oh.
That's just how I see it. You don't. I have children, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming from a whole nother light. Like, my way of thinking might be different from someone who's single, you know what I'm saying? And can just do whatever. Because if I was single right now, I would be traveling the world. Like, with no children, it would just be a whole nother ball game, you know what I'm saying? But I'm working towards that now. But when your children is in the play, and once again, this is where emotions peak in. Like, I could be emotionally detached from my children and just keep on going off and doing whatever I want to. You see what I'm saying? You hear me out?
Yeah.
Just doing whatever I want to, bro. Not worried about the emotional state. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro, because there's just some people live like that. And I can't say that's wrong. Just like some people, stick to their families and take care of them and do that. I can't say that's wrong neither. It's everything is three ways, bro. Like, we could have this topic all day long, but you gonna see you got the conscious, you got the subconscious, then you got your spirit itself.
So this is where I'm coming from.
What's up?
A brother like me, which embraces the idea,
Yeah.
meeting a woman that I really care about, and I'm presenting the idea to her because I'm kind of like within me, I'm thinking about embracing the idea. She's not necessarily with that, based upon her personal taboos. That goes against her taboos. That goes against what how she was brought up.
You heard her law.
What was that?
I said you heard her law. That's her law. She's saying she's not having that. She want one man solely to her. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And if that's what she wants to do, that's what she do. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing but accept it. But you can find, you seek, you shall find. So you can seek out and find you a woman who's cool with it, like the queen on the phone or the goddess on the phone. She says she's cool with it. She's
All
been
right.
through it.
So how
She's
about
done
this?
it.
How about this? I
So
can
y'all need to link up.
I could easily say like, well, okay, I don't want that anymore.
What?
What happens? What changes?
You don't have what anymore?
No, I'm just saying I don't. I don't want to embrace polygamy. I would like to just be with this one person. I would just want to be with her. I could just say that. What changes? Because at the end of the day, where I'm getting at, I hear what you're saying, but where I'm getting at is like, I probably just ended up cheating on her. She ended up cheating on me. So
right.
the whole my point of view is like, this is approaching a relationship or approaching some type of partnership, and instead of doing what is what is that natural, what normal, how people teach you to do, what society teaches you to do, going about it just a different way. Going about it as if it is a business, and you are investing your time into this person, and this person is investing time into you, and you're putting that energy into a bigger picture. Success is there. Any other way, to me, success is not necessarily there because it's a conventional way, and it's a way how people have been doing things for thousands and thousands of years, and look at how society is today.
Mm-hmm.
So to make and it's also a group, something involving people different, like not just myself, three other people. I know for a fact in a situation like that, it can't be one-sided. I have to care about what all three of them think. If I desire to continue to move forward with that union.
That's an opinion.
So no, what you're saying? Okay, if I would like to move forward with the union, I don't have to care about what none of the members are thinking.
No,
That's
not for
not
real.
That's not harmony. That's not going to last. Success is not there when I'm giving.
Are you talking about taking care of, like, physically, eat, food, water, shelter? Listen to me. Are you talking about food, water, shelter? Or are you talking about emotionally?
What you mean, as far as providing or taking care or working together? What you mean?
Are you talking about providing food, water, and shelter? Or are you talking about providing emotionally?
All the above, everything that they desire and want.
Okay. That's a whole lot into that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, in my opinion, I mean, that's just for you. That's how you feel. That's the best way I can say it. I ain't even gonna elaborate. That's how you feel. I feel differently.
I can dig it.
I don't understand how emotional security would not be a part of that situation, especially since women are emotional creatures. So like I don't really get it.
And
What do
how
you
would that
mean?
last? Because I kind of agree with her. How would the situation like that last? What is an emotional creature? Like you said, a woman is emotional, and you
I
don't care
mean,
about her
that's according
emotions.
to the books. That's according to
And
the books, man.
it sounds like what I'm saying. It sounds like you're the dictator in the relationship. Like what you say
Nah,
goes.
that
Is your
that's
way or the
according. Nah,
highway.
that's a that
That,
that
that
be a
that's what I'm
that
picking
would
up.
be a lie. That would be a lie. Cause I mean, once again, that just goes to opinion. That goes to opinion, brother. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Once
No,
what
I'm
it
again,
asking.
sounds
I'm not. No,
like.
I'm not. I'm asking to kind of like clarify that for me.
so
Like
what you
that's
want to
what it
know?
sounds like.
How about you ask me and I tell you instead of you assuming?
So how does that work with you with the male? The way that your perspective is coming across is as if he does what he does as a man and not
Right.
be concerned with the women's emotions. Those are separate things. So he should be there to provide the house, the home, the food, and all this stuff, but not to provide emotional security. If there's a
Hmm.
conflict between the three women, then the three women need to hash it out amongst themselves instead of having him be a mediator,
The
someone that
women,
is.
once again, the women are the sisters. The women are the mothers of the planet. So it will be for them to unify. Like I said at the beginning of the
Have
conversation,
have you
they would
ever
need to unify.
have
Yeah,
you ever gone into a female group to see the
yeah, I
relationship?
have. Yeah, I
Sisterhood,
have. And
did you see
females
that
and
there is real
certain.
sisterhood?
I'm gonna say this within the black community, the way
No.
they feed. Listen. The way they feed emotions and all that. You know what I'm saying to our females. How can I explain it? It's more of between two females. Like it's more of a forget her. She'll take my man type shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be close. This is how some females think. I'm gonna get to the other side. Some females think, oh, I can't get close to her. I got a man and this and that. I don't want her to be because I see it every day. You know. Then you got some women who just got their sisterhood. They build with their sisters. They go do what they do with their sisters, and that's what it is. They come back home to their man. However the relationship is set up, and it's no problem because a lot of the times I think women get okay, I'm in a relationship, I can't live, I can't have male friends, I can't, you just got to stop living. You
Damn.
still have to live.
So you had mentioned that this is what the texts say. It seems
What's
like
up?
you're speaking from a perfect world perspective and not really from a real world perspective.
So how do you feel that I'm speaking of a perfect world perspective? Explain.
Because I am a black woman and I think sisterhood is lacking. So if
That's what I
I
just said. I
yes,
said sisterhood was lacking
so then how would that work with him not catering to their emotions, especially
because the sisters need to cater to the sisters emotions. That's what
oh,
they do.
okay,
That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If if I may interrupt,
Go ahead,
you
brother.
guys can hear me.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is my opinion now. So like within my household, I don't believe in any form of segregation within my household. So like we would I would conduct it a little bit differently. I would have everyone getting involved. Me, I wouldn't necessarily call myself the overseer, but a person that's involved in a union. Um, we all should move together. We all should be, it should be a level of perfect harmony within that union. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it last. Without perfect harmony, you're gonna have some people keeping secrets. You're gonna have some unhappy people who's holding that negativity in.
Okay, you heard Garth. He said perfect harmony. That's your perfect world right there. What you hearing right now, that's your perfect. That's your perfect world, in my opinion.
Perfect harmony. So that cannot be achieved. Is what you're
No,
saying?
I didn't say perfect harmony
Oh,
couldn't
oh,
be achieved,
okay. So, but
but
that
I just
is.
said that's your perfect world. So let's hear your views, sister. We've been rambling. Let's hear how you feel about the situation.
What's the story asking? Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Um, exactly what point are we left on right now? So I didn't know
We
exactly.
want to hear everything that you have to say on this subject of poly life. We've been talking, and it's
Okay,
getting good. I need your
okay, because I don't want to like repeat the same things that was already said. Um, I'm just trying to get these headphones in because everybody else has headphones in, so maybe it might sound much clearer. Ah! Okay.
your earrings are beautiful. We can't hear you.
Can't hear
Okay,
you.
can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's sisterhood right there. Compliment your sister.
Can you hear me right?
Everything good? Yeah.
Oh no, she fell off. She's having technical difficulties. She'll probably call right back in.
Yeah. I just kind of like So how do you feel like based upon my explanation, Nella? What are you getting from my explanation? Any
Oh,
questions or
could you repeat it? I think we was agreeing. I think I agreed with you.
okay? Yeah, I was just explaining like how I would have everyone get involved. It wouldn't be any like segregation or nothing like that, or any levels or anything. I would teach my queens, how to become leaders. Or if they are already leaders, I'll help nurture, the leadership that they already possess. It's like a power unity. It's a power team. What I want for myself, I want for them. That is, I would nurture them, and
And
I would sustain their life. I would sustain them, and I would want to see them doing great. So that requires communication. If I'm a gardener and I'm in my garden and I see weeds in the garden killing my primary plants, I'm going to pull the weeds out. I'm going to intervene.
I respect it. I do. And I understand where Natty is coming from. But I feel like his perspective is later on down the line. Like I definitely understand what he's saying when we're cooking. We as sisters should be gathered together and hashing out any of our problems. We should have a great sisterhood communication. But that doesn't come easy. That comes with work, especially when there's a
Hey,
man
sweetheart.
involved.
Hey, sweetheart. Tell me this. Do you look into like other cultures and the way other ethnic groups and just all around different forms of life all over the planet? Do you look into how they live and how they operate?
um, no, no. I mean, I am Caribbean, so I know about different lifestyles. But
Well, if
as
you look,
far as
yeah. So let me ask you this: we speaking only on an American standpoint right now, correct?
yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay, cool. All right.
I only have the American perspective to
in
relate back.
regards to in regards to polygamy.
Yeah, just in regards to the whole,
So
um,
as you go like across the world, like religion and certain ideologies will take into play. Depending on the geological location and the religion that they have, will determine if they embrace the subject matter or not embrace the subject matter.
right.
What I'm focusing on is What I would like to know, does it work? What works? Is the system that is set up right now, is that working currently? I
What's
kind of
that?
feel as though it doesn't work right now. The conventional way, normal relationships, blah blah blah. And I'm speaking in regards into the black community, in general. Um,
Ain't shit working in the black community. What you
yeah,
mean?
so I feel as though like a structured system like this, what I'm speaking about, I see it working. It's not for anyone. I wish it's not just for anyone. Not anyone could practice it. Um, because it takes a level of understanding and also a level of respect for the emotions of the third party and the second party. That's a key. That's a big like ingredient within that working system. That respect of the emotions, um, especially when dealing with females. They're very extremely emotional. So like you have to be able to respect that, whatever level it could ascend to. You have to be able to respect it, understand it fully, and be able to calm it back down. That's with any person that you care about. That's a form of sustaining their life. And say for example, like maybe your queen had a bad day. She comes home with an attitude. Instead of taking seriously to the attitude, what I'm saying is like defusing it the proper way. Knowing how to defuse situations like that increases longevity. You guys there? Hello?
I'm
Talking to
here.
myself
Yeah,
here.
just listening, brother.
So I'm talking about longevity. I'm looking to like what is a working system that will keep people together. And
Communication.
communication. No, but
Yeah.
okay. So I
Too much
understand.
talk, man.
You said communication is too much talk. I think it could never be too much talk. You really know where that person is coming from, and you could come up to with a proper conclusion
If
via
you're energetic,
communication.
if you're energetically aligned with this person, then there is no too much talk. Like, I don't know. There shouldn't be too much talk. If you're just getting with any like anyone just because they have a certain criteria, like some people, if a man's objective is to get 3 wives to get pregnant, then he might have himself a checklist that these women need to have this, and that's the only thing he's concerned about is mating with them. If that's the case, then that's something completely different. But if you are in a relationship, then you should be relating, and the best way to relate is by communication.
You could communicate with people other than with words.
Correct. Communication doesn't
No,
necessarily need to be with words, but communication is important.
right, but it's not with
Communication,
words. It's not out. Nah, he ain't in there, bro. But it's not
communication.
always with words. That was my only point.
Okay, I can follow that, but like, how can you use that information in a system to make like I feel as though the information that I'm pushing out, you can use it to mend situations, to heal broken hearts. As a form of a solution for people to practice and keep everything together. I remember in the beginning I was saying that people embrace polygamy without even knowing. I know some people with, let's some well, some I know some men with like 4 different baby mothers, or 5 different baby mothers. That's polygamy. I know some women with the same amount of baby fathers. That's polygamy. And but they're also bitter. They also have bad experiences with the people who they had children with. So I'm scratching my head wondering why. And trying
Because
to
we like
figure out.
animals. Because we somewhat like animals. You know what I'm saying? If another man, just like you said, under your conditions, those 3 women can't mate with nobody else. So let's say you come home, but you say you wouldn't put yourself in this situation though. But you come home and your girl might be laid up with somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So then what do you do at that point, Gar? What happens at that point in with your system and what you're trying to construct, to work out and be the best economically?
Okay, so because I can premeditate situations like that, and I'm an honest guy, and I'm an honest king, and I know inevitably how I will feel overall if that situation would happen to me. And me, I'm coming in a situation with my law, with my doctrine. Um, it's up to the female to accept my law, my doctrine, to consent to like how I see things. I could
So
explain.
basically, she's signing a contract when she get
She's
with you.
signing a contract when she get with me.
Okay,
Marriage
got you.
is a
So it,
contract. I agree
So
with that.
within the context of my contract, it's explaining like things like that I cannot help as a man. Like, hey, if you do this action as a man, my nature, because of my nature, this is how I'm going to respond to this. I can't help it. It's not an ego thing. It's a natural man thing. So I don't think all women understand. So what I would do is break those things down to my woman. Like, hey, this is me. This is who I am. I feel as though I shouldn't have to change. If a woman loves me and likes me, why should I have to change who I am for her?
I think those things
Do you know how painful
should
that
be
is
stated.
to change the person who you are? You know how painful that is to pretend that you're something that you're not?
I think those things should be stated in a relationship, for real,
I feel
because
as though it's important for her to.
relationships, every stage of a relationship that you go into, there's unspoken expectations. So it's like you might as well speak on that shit. That's how you avoid problems. That's how you retain a relationship. Fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. I'm trying to check if I can. What happened to the queen? She came in and then she left. Or I might just put my phone down because it's kind of distracting me, and I'm trying to get deep into this build. I have a question. I have a few questions. I want to know how much does the black woman value the black man?
You asking me?
Yeah, I wanted the other queen to come in.
Okay, because
Definitely been a lot more fair for you. You can answer that question later, I guess.
where's Shorty at? Where's she at though?
That's what I'm saying.
I've asked that question to black women on my social media group.
You just asked
turn
it.
that down a little bit.
No, I didn't just ask it. I've asked this before in my history.
So, like, let's see if I can get back into my context. One of the reasons I know that law that I have sounds pretty like ridiculous. How do you feel about my law? You know that it's law that you cannot give my saying away. You understand? I'm in a public setting, so I can't use the words that I would normally use. But you can't give my
Yeah,
stuff away. It's law.
I
You
don't
cannot
think
give my.
that
When I
is.
get married, I'm marrying the stuff.
I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I think a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You need to say what you want,
True.
and
I agree.
you need to mean it. You know what I'm saying? And the best time to say it is, in the beginning of a relationship. Um, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I have no problems submitting if that's the person that I want. That's the conditions that they're putting to be with them. Then I will either have to figure that out or I just submit and be like, okay, well, that's worth sacrificing. And for
So
me
let
personally,
me. I want to ask you this question now. Would that be difficult for you? Like, is that like a painful thing? Like how
no.
I'm explaining to you, like certain things would be painful to me. Would that be like difficult for you to be loyal to that?
Well, as Natty had said earlier, it is more likely for women to be with one man than it is for men to be with one woman. So for me to give up men, that's not a problem at all. That's sort of like that to me is a natural giving.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's pretty cool that you would say that. Some women would disagree. I'm curious to know why. That's why I wanted like a little. I wanted it to be like nice and
A different,
controversial.
yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't want to speak for other women, but I think a lot of women is sort of like quality thing, and it's sort of like whatever you say to me, I should automatically say to you. And I feel like it becomes a battle about who's on top instead of what they actually want. Like a woman might not actually want multiple husbands, but she will put up a fight about it just because you're trying to lay a law on her, you know?
Yeah, true. So like that's why I try to like switch my approach up and approach, in a different way other than like a brute force way type of way. You understand? Um, a lot of
I
times I bump into situations that I'm putting to the side my personal views for the woman. Like I honestly do embrace polygamy. Okay, it makes sense. Like when I'm in the process of explaining to you, but I meet a lot of women that they're not with it because for selfish reasons. I would say selfish reasons. Right? I hear a lot of different definitions of why it's not good and why they're not down and not with it. But it's all selfish to me. You see what I'm saying?
Well, we live in a selfish society. It's not their fault. There goes nothing. We live in a selfish society.
Yeah. So you said we live in a selfish society. That's correct.
But we're not present. Yeah.
Bro, I think. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Who, me?
Yeah, talk to me.
Oh, I thought you was talking to him. What did you say? Did you ask me a question?
No, I just like to hear y'all views. I don't want to be the only one
Okay.
talking. That's the last. I hate just talking and running.
Okay, well, I feel like the best way for a man to approach the subject of polygamy with a woman that he's with is by asking questions. Instead of speaking directly to her, asking questions to try to pull it up out of her.
Let me bring this up. Now you have like certain, people, posing to, be conscious people, you know, issuing. Hey, brother, you think you could pause your mic? It's kind of like throwing me off a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
All right, cool. So, you got some brothers out there that's, requesting for polygamous relationships, using it as like a form of recreation, making genuine kings like me, making it hard for genuine kings like me. Kind of makes me a little upset because like I'm highly genuine with my approach to these queens, and also patient. All right. In the event that I'm courting you and I'm being patient with you while I'm getting to know you, I ask that you kind of not cut me off. A lot of women cut me off because of like, this guy wants polygamy, blah blah blah. I'm being honest with you. I'm being open. Like, hey, this is what it is with me. This is how it is. What do you have to say? Tell me. What do you have to say to me about that? Like,
I would say that polygamy has a very bad stigma attached to it, especially thanks to Hebrew Israelites. It seems when women hear polygamy, it's sort of like you push her aside as if she's not enough. It makes a woman feel like she's not enough and you want something else. So
that's what I wanted to get out of you. Now we're talking here. So
I feel.
Hold on, right there. Can you stick a pin? You said that it makes the woman feel like she's not enough. All right. Is that the same equivalence? Like, so when I was saying that, if my wife was to want another man, I'll feel some type of way. It would make me feel like I'm not enough. All right. So now we're getting somewhere. Now we're starting to build.
So the question is, do you want polygamy or do you want monogamy?
No, the question is more like who is right in that situation. Like, I feel as though I'm right for wanting to have more than one woman. I can explain why it's okay and why you should, why you should be okay with it. And I can also explain why it's not okay for you to have more than one man planting seeds in the
Mm.
womb. Um,
You ever anybody ever told you the truth needs no validation?
I heard that before. Okay, but right now in this case, you have two. This is logical. I understand her feeling. I understand what she's saying. How do you have two feelings and opinions like that and make the situation work, or does it need to work at all?
If
If
it's
so,
meant to
what
work, it's
does?
gonna work regardless.
If so, no. But that's like sweeping things under the rug. I'm sure. I'm more like a
Bro, you
hold on
won't
to grasp
just from hearing
grasp.
your views, just I'm gonna chime in a little bit. Just from hearing your views, bro, like you're basically trying to plan your relationship out, bro. Like if you just giving you a tip on relationships, bro. Relationships is not meant to be planned out. The more you trying to plan them, the more it's gonna go left. Just my opinion and from my personal
Well,
experience.
maybe I'm
I
not
just wanted to say
articulating
that.
like my point of view to you like correctly. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is, I'm aware of certain things that could cause can destroy a relationship. I'm aware of certain aspects that destroy relationships, regardless if it's a sexual relationship, a friendship, a partnership, whatever the case may be. Certain elements would destroy that. So by both parties understanding these elements, because inevitably, no matter what situation or almost no matter what species you are, you could be, it could be two dogs, it could be two humans, two birds. Those are still friendships and partnerships, and I believe these concepts that I'm sharing with you still apply regardless of species. So therefore, that renders it important and significant to share when walking into something new, regardless if it's a partnership, friendship, or whatever the case may be. So what I'm trying to do is understand or identify something that
Yeah, you wanna
actually
know
works.
some things you ain't gonna know, bro. Just some
I
things,
disagree. I disagree. I disagree.
I don't. Why do you disagree with things happen every
You said
day
it's
that you don't
something
know?
that okay that I don't know,
Yeah,
but at the second that I want to know, I can go out there and research and find out.
right. You could, but that don't mean it's the truth. Because who wrote it? What's the source? You know what I'm saying? You just hearing opinions, bro. Like books. You know what I'm saying? They opinions. You got
As I'm
mythology. You
looking
got
for the truth, as I'm walking towards that direction, the truth will unfold sources, the research,
absolutely.
different sources, this and the third. Um, if I'm in a particular field and I'm looking to advance in that field, research and study is required for me to advance and uplift myself out of that from that one level to the next level. So knowledge is important, and there's a lot of things that I understand. I hear what you're saying, but in regards to a working relationship, making something work, you have to have the
Is knowledge
experience.
wisdom? Is knowledge wisdom?
Knowledge is a part of wisdom.
But is knowledge wisdom?
Not knowledge is subject matter. Wisdom is
Okay.
something that you
Wisdom is
obtain.
what? Experience, right?
Yeah,
Wisdom goes into experience. Okay. Experience is just something. Just give me a tip on what I learned. Experience is a little bit more far fetched than knowledge, bro. Because you can know a lot, but unless you experienced it and actually been there, it's just like I could research Jamaica all day long. I could even go on my third eye. But for me to physically, you know what I'm saying, which goes into the three ways that I could feel, which goes in over 300 senses that I might have, unless I step foot on those waters, I haven't really been there. You see what I'm saying? But see, that could be argued too. But I'm just trying to paint a perspective for you, brother.
no, I can dig it. I can dig it.
So once again, this is going back to shaping your own realities. You know what I'm saying? Like just me, like, okay, once again, okay, I got my woman here, like you saying you want three wives, you could get you one woman, all right, be with her, have your couple children, and bam, that's your landmark. Buy a house. I mean, that's your landmark right there. Then you can go buy another house if you want it. You know what I'm saying? And build a whole nother house. You know,
No, but
they
this is
don't
what
even have.
happened. This is what happened. And like, you know, if I was
What's
to
up?
do that,
What
you
happens?
know, the first young lady that I built a house with, she's gonna be
Yeah.
upset because I'm building a house with someone else. Now I didn't made this woman bitter, and you know I know better, and I didn't did that.
Hey,
And
it
then
is what it is, and get.
now I'm just like, you know, kind of like, you know, running on the Ferris wheel. I'm not changing anything. I'm not
You
uplifting
care too
anything.
much about feelings.
No. This look what I'm talking about. This type of knowledge
Turn that down.
in
Okay.
relationships. These are
Hold on.
families we talking about here. This is the nation
Right.
we talking about here. So it's
Right.
important because, you know, if I was to come together with a woman and have sex with her, unprotected sex, she would have a child, right? So this is
Right.
children we talking about here. So
Right.
this is an important subject, and you can't just let
So
things
you
happen
saying
because
just
you let
because?
people
So
be
you saying
hurt.
just because your two families ain't together, you can't make it work? Is that what you saying?
No, I'm saying because people just come together just to strictly for sex. That's why things don't work. Because people don't have contracts written out. Because people don't have things to expect. People because people don't know what they want. That's why things do not work.
Once
So
again,
going
contracts, bro. I
into
don't.
everything is a contract.
No,
Everything is a
sir.
contract.
Everything is a contract, brother.
Everything is not a contract. How do
Everything
you
is
figure
a
that?
contract. On this level of consciousness where I'm at, I begin to understand that
Okay, so tell
everything
me
is
this,
a
brother.
contract. There's different forms of contracts. You
Tell me
have
this, brother.
unilateral contracts, bilateral contracts. Everything is
Who
contractual.
made up that word? Who made up bilateral contract? What is that? What does that date back to? That word, because it's English for
Yeah,
one. So
but that's a
you know what I'm
language we
saying?
speak today. That's a
Those
language
are
we speak
forms of
today.
Babylon.
I
I mean, I'm
understand.
just saying I can't relate.
No, I hear that a lot. But listen, those are the languages we're speaking right now and within this dialogue. That we'll speak that language tomorrow. We was born into this language. This is thousands of years old language. So I hear that a lot. But what are we gonna do about it? I hear what you're saying, but what is done to like you know, establish our own language or our own form of dialogue that we can use? We have to use
I
this
mean,
one.
that's easy. That's easy. You don't remember? I don't know when you was last in school, but you don't never remember when the girls used to be in school speaking. I can't even think what it was. It was like words backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Pig,
They could have a whole
Gibberish.
pig
conversation.
Latin, pig Latin.
You
Gibberish.
pig Latin. But I'm just saying, just that simple. But they was not even knowing that they was tapping into something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's easy to configure your own language, but you're gonna have to have a tribe. You're gonna have to have a school.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Is certain like prerequisites that, you know.
That's not feelings though, bro. That's having resource, bro. The man that got the
No,
if you
okay, all right. But this is my thing. I just to throw this out there. After, you know, you establish something like that, as far as monetization, as far as how do I use that to provide for a family? How do I use that to like ASAP time
okay,
period?
check peep game.
That sounds like more of a long
Peep
term
game. Let me
investment. A long
let me
term
tell you what
investment.
I got going on. Okay, since we talking contracts, when I do contracts, I'm doing business. Like real deal business, not relationships. But all right, so I got two houses now. I got a house I stay on
But hold on,
42nd.
not to cut
What's
you
up?
off, but relationships is a business. Business is I
No,
have
it's
what you
not.
want. No, hold
No, it's
on.
not.
Business.
I
Wait,
disagree.
one second, bro. Business is I have what you want. You have what I want. Let's trade.
How do I have what you want?
So,
How do you have what I want? What makes you think
are
you
you
have what
speaking
I
about
want?
in a relationship?
Huh?
Are you speaking about in a relationship or in a business matter or a situation that you were referring to?
However you talking, brother. I'm
All
trying to
business,
figure.
all business is every business on this planet. If I have what you want, you have what I want. Let's trade. Every business you can ever think of, that's what business is, and I'm going as far as to say that's what relationships are as well. I have what you want, you have what I want. Let's trade.
That's what a relationship is.
Yes, sir.
That's that's what a contract is.
And that's also what a contract is. Because if you know, why would you be with someone like
Okay,
you?
so check it. So check it. Speak game. So let's say I'm single. I'm speaking hypothetically right now. I'm single. I meet this chick tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We lays up, we chilling, we cool. You know what I'm saying? Bam. I'm not in no relationship though. So look. So I got this other chick that I'm messing with too on the side. We not in no relationship. We never put a title to it. You know what I'm saying? So, I might end up getting this one, getting her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? She has my seed, that one, but I'm never in a relationship.
Hold on. You in a
You feel
relationship?
me?
No, you in a
Huh?
relationship. You're in a
That's
relationship.
that's my point. But guess what?
No,
There's no contract.
no. You're engaging in with
There's no
another person.
contract, bro.
Hold on. You're engaging with another person. This is a partnership. You're not engaging by yourself. You're engaging with someone else. This is a partnership.
So how's that a contract?
Hold on.
But as soon as a man asks a woman to be his, that is the contract. If you
No,
get,
I think
I'm confused. I think it's more the title. I don't have. There's no such thing as you asking. Okay, be mine.
Hold on. I can answer your question. So this is where because you say where's the contract? This is where the contract comes into play.
What's the contract, fam?
You call that person, right?
What?
You communicate in contact with that person.
Yeah.
You dial the number and they pick up. Hello? And you get a response, right? This is all contractual. If I was
so that's a contract. So just because I called you, that's a contract.
Hold on. If I send you a letter and you open it up and read it, this is a part of the contract. This is a part of the functions of the contract. So
you saying a letter is a contract?
You possess a letter.
Slow down, because I'm trying to completely understand what you're saying. Now you're saying a letter is a contract.
All right. What I'm saying, okay, it is an instrument. And
it's an instrument.
And the whole process of me, listen, with this instrument, I fill out my instrument, I send it to you. You receive it, you look at it.
I look at it and that made it a contract.
Right, and you accept it. Open it up.
So I write you a letter saying, hey, what's up, man? How you been doing? That was a contract.
Yeah, because when I open it, when I accept, because I accept it. I accept your letter and I'm reading it and I'm engaging.
Yeah.
You don't understand? I accept it and I'm engaging. You could write me a letter and I throw it away. We're not under no contract. I never read that. I don't plan on like responding to it or anything like that. We're not under any contract. When I receive your letter, I open it up, I read it, and I contact you. We're engaging here.
That's not a contract, bro. You trying to put some stuff together that's different. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's say LG&E writes me a letter every month, but guess what? When I went down there and signed them forms and gave them my social security card, that was a contract. So now they're writing me a letter due to the contract that they previously had with me. You see what I'm saying? That is a contract. A contract is a document that is written and is signed by both parties, which makes it a contract. So you write me a letter saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? It's not a contract. That is a letter, not a contract.
Hold on. Letter. If I write you a letter, saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? And you respond, that's a contract. That you're engaging in my contract.
Okay, I don't get that. I don't relate to that terminology.
It's definitely contractual. If this is verbal contract. So you wear a verbal contract?
I don't relate to it, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a verbal contract, which check this out. This what would be a verbal contract. I got this Mustang in here. It's for sale. I say it's $1,800. I write you out a bill of sale, showing how much you paid me, this and that. You sign it, I sign it. That's a contract.
I have a question.
Okay. I want to finish this. If I say hello,
what's up?
You say and you respond, and
I say, hey, how you doing?
Yes, I'm trying to let you know that that's a form of contracting.
That's what you say.
I pushed some words out to you. I said something to you. You accepted what I said and you responded.
No, I didn't accept what you said.
You heard it filtered. It went in, and you responded based upon what I said. Hello, and you respond hello back.
And you saying that's a contract?
Yeah, it's
what was the contract to? What was the contract?
It didn't get anywhere. It didn't. I wasn't finished. I could have. We're communicating, and you're speaking my language.
I don't get it. Bro.
I'm just coming based upon the definitions. We're into an agreement, we're communicating.
No, we're not. We're not in an agreement by you saying, "Hey, how you doing?" and I say, "I'm doing good." That's not an agreement.
Oh, the conversation is not done. For the fact that we're having a conversation, that's the aspect of the contract I'm talking about. We haven't agreed on anything. I understand you're talking more of a commercial type of contract.
I'm talking about a contract. Aspects. Period. What a contract is.
Queen. Nella.
Yes.
What are your views?
She thinks it's a
I'm
contract.
I definitely believe that this is a contract. I have a very different perspective on what contracts is to him, and I just wanted to ask him if somebody calls you, let's say it's
Uh,
your wife, calls you
yeah.
and say, "Honey, I need you to pick something up before you come home today." Do you believe that's a contract?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't believe that's a contract.
I believe that to be a contract.
I don't because it's free. A contract. Once you get locked in a contract, it is not free will.
Hold on. So you, all right? If you accept, yeah, you're in a contract, but that is a contract. She
That's a
communicated
contract
it.
that's
She
being
communicated
That's
something,
not a
presented.
agreement.
contract.
She
That's not a contract.
communicated an agreement to you, verbal
That's not a
contract.
contract.
Hey, can you blah blah blah? And once you say yes, now what you once you say
You're
yes,
That's not a. I didn't.
once you
I
say
said
yes,
yes.
you have to go do what you just said yes to,
No,
yeah.
or
no.
someone will be upset. It's contractual.
It's not a contract, bro. I disagree. I still
Hold on,
disagree.
I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Go ahead and converse, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with that.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks, L. Rainey, for joining in. We're having a conversation about polygamy life. If you want to speak up, now is your time to give your perspective. You missed a lot, but we want to hear what you got to say. Good evening or good morning.
Shalom, good evening. Can you hear me?
So, yes, we hear you.
Assalamu alaikum. Wagwan.
Rahmatullahi.
Oh, that was so beautiful. So, do you have an opinion about any of the poly relationships, polyamory, polyandry, polygamy? Do you have a perspective?
Um, in regards to polygyny, being that I'm a part of Israelite community, so I recognize I identify as being an Israelite. So there are many polygynous relationships. I know plenty of brothers and sisters that are in these unions, but um, I've been always open. Um, I support those that are able to and have successful polygynous relationships, but um, it's not something that I necessarily
Yeah, I'm
entertain.
back. Who was that? Someone else tap in?
Yes, we have. She didn't say her name. Could you tell us what you would like to be called?
You can call me L, my name.
Okay.
The God or the goddess.
All right, peace, queen.
Peace.
So, what did I miss?
She was just sharing her perspective on polygamy and polyandry. She's explaining right now.
Okay.
Right. So, I support those that, I've seen and I know many sisters and brothers that are in successful polygynous relationships. However, I believe that being that we are here, most of us here in the United States are, have been too westernized to the point where I feel it could become quite difficult because we have grown and we have been, raised in a monogamous setting. So when these brothers and sisters, get into polygyny, I think without, the proper guidance and, the necessary, training, so to say, because it is training, because again, you're dealing with, feelings and emotions, unless, you
I'm glad
know,
you came on, sister.
thank you, the mindset, then it can become quite catastrophic, catastrophic. Excuse me, because I'm a little bit raspy, so I'm trying to catch myself. I traveled. I've been driving all day. Um, but if not carefully planned, it can become a catastrophe, and I've watched it happen twice this year with another sister, actually two sisters, and mainly because it was not properly discussed with first wives. Um, we see a lot of this, and again, I deal the Hebrew Israelite community, Israelite community. You know, there is an order. There is supposed to be an order. If there is, you know, a first wife, then the male should go to the first wife and, you know, basically have the discussion that he's looking to pursue another relationship and bringing in a second wife or a third, fourth wife instead of going and pursuing another wife and it not being, you know, openly discussed with the first and the second or third or the first wife. So, you know, you know, without the proper construct and governing the relationship, you know, it could end up being later on down the line. That's just my perspective. But, you know, I applaud those that can successfully, you know, live in these unions and are able to make them work for them. Um, but, you know, again, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. I got a question. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I feel as though you have some people practicing polygamy without knowing that that's what they're practicing, and they're not doing it necessarily the right way of going about, issuing it properly. What I mean by that is, like, I'm familiar with men and women who have, over four people who they had children with, four different people who they have children with. To
Oh, okay.
me, based upon what polygamy states, that is a polygamous relationship that these people have
Right,
been living all of their lives. But these are bitter people. These are angry men, angry women, pointing the finger
right,
at one another. So overall, I guess, like, with this video, I would like the viewers of this video to find some type of maturity or a mature way of looking at all three of these concepts. And I guess, would you agree with me that polygamy is somewhat like practiced by everyone because they have all multiple partners, but they're not going
For
about doing
sure.
it the correct way?
I mean, if we look at it from an uneducated standpoint in regards to how most of our people are currently living, then yes, there are people practicing polygyny and don't even know it.
Hmm.
You know, and that comes with, you know, okay, well, this man goes and lays with a woman and fathers 2 children, and then goes and lays with another woman. Then, of course, we have the typical baby mama, baby daddy. And, I mean, that's what it is. But they're in polygamous relationships. And we said the proper word is polygyny. I
Polygyny.
refer to it as polygamy, but it's really polygyny. So,
One within the African community or the African American community. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel as though it is taught that it's cool to have more than one woman. It is taught that it's cool to cheat on women. It's taught that it's cool to cheat on men, right? So I'm looking to resolve, like, some of these issues by doing this and cheating on one another. We're hurting each other and we're destroying each other. Uh, Queen, I'm
now,
not sure. I'm not sure if I got your name. I don't. I would like to call you
L,
L. Okay, Queen
my,
L.
yes, my name is Cy L, but you can call me L.
So, okay. I'm looking for, like, because right now we're live, so I would like to know if you could share, like, a solution, or, like, if you could kind of point us in the right direction of, like, over there to each his own. What is, like, a structured way to go about in any relationship?
To go well, first and foremost, and I mean it's something that we have lacked as a people since the beginning of time, and that is because we've been displaced from our own culture.
Hmm.
So we would have to actually dismember, disinsinuate what we've learned and relearn all over again. Because if we look at different cultures, then polygyny and polyandry are very much lived in amongst other people in other parts of the world.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
So we would need to start there with educating our people. But again, because we live in a western, we are westernized and we have been taught to live in monogamy, it becomes very difficult and very hard. And my best explanation of being able to have one to be able to relate is to compare what we see in the animal kingdom. universal law if we was to go back to nature.
That's it.
So, animals just like the lion. I mean, he goes and mates with multiple lioness.
That's it.
They're practicing polygyny. You see, so we're the only species that are living monogamously on this side of the world. No actuality, but if we look at the divine creation, that's not so. So I think we would have to go back. We would have to actually take the time to try to examine universal law as opposed to what we are living in a state of what we've been taught by our oppressors to live by, because this is what it's
That's
saying.
it.
You see, so we things as we know them systematically, and not as we know them naturally.
I
So
agree.
the first step would be to educate our people
That's
in the
it.
time from which they came.
That's it.
That's true. Another thing is, properly identifying the people who you choose to, I'm gonna say, contract with. I'm not sure if the brother would agree with me, but identifying who are you working with? Like, who is this person in your atmosphere? What level of being are they on? To my understanding, you have, three different levels of being. You have the animal aspect. You have, I guess the go-getter aspect, a very ambitious person who uses, self-justice, self-wisdom, and understanding. You have a higher aspect than that. So who is this person in front of me? This is a person operating from the animal level. This is a person who's operating from the second level. This is a person operating from the highest level of being or highest level of consciousness. You understand?
Mhm.
So properly identifying a person like that will kind of
Right,
like help your feelings out in the future, or help you, or stop you from being bitter, or stop you from running into a brick wall, so to say.
right. So I agree with that. So we would have to be able to identify certain characteristics of each individual or these individuals, especially the characteristics and the mentality of the quote unquote African American community. You
Yes.
see, but
So
but
yeah,
but our people have been so we've been programmed. You know, it will again unless all are willing to step outside of the system itself and unplug. I mean, honestly, we're kind of at our wits end, and we're at a loss as a people.
I have a
so
question. Is a relationship a contract?
It is a contract.
okay, that's what I thought. So with that being said, in a relationship, when you first even meeting someone, I feel as though, like, you should be honest about your own personal contract. It's how you feel within that you kind of like sharing with the other person.
Right.
I think that's necessary. This is a necessity because
Yeah.
I
That
now can choose what I'm getting myself into. I know the truth now, and
exactly.
I can choose if I want to, begin to move forward down this road, or I just want to, walk away. A lot of people are hiding the truth and then exposing it to the people after like 10 years, and that's like a waste of your time. That's like, you can never get those precious moments, back again.
Yeah, and that's one of the, and then you know what, and us as a people, that's one of the main things that we haven't learned how to do in regards to relationship. Like I always tell people, when you first meet a person, you have absolutely nothing to lose because you don't know each other. So why not lay everything out on the table first and foremost? You know, give the person the opportunity to choose if it is something that they wish to walk into.
I say.
Sure.
You see, so later on, we don't have that, well, I was misled, or, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that. And that's what happens because, a lot of people, we probably are the biggest ones. I mean, we practice the fear of loss. It's a fear of loss, a fear of losing something that we may have not even have necessarily established in the first place.
True.
So how can you fear something if it has not, if the seed has not been properly planted? You can't fear it not bringing forth, a positive and prosperous crop unless you have watered it properly to begin with in the first place. And that's what you have to do with relationships. It's a seed. So you got to be able to plant it in the proper soil. You got to nurture it and water it so it can properly grow. Instead of just throwing it in the pot of dead soil, you don't know what's in it. Well, okay, I got them. I'm gonna throw it over here. That's what we do when we come into relationship, and we're not forthcoming.
Yep.
We're not taking the time to properly plant the seeds and nurture them.
That's
We
true.
have to do that with relationships. Same thing. It's like that's why we get into these quote unquote baby mama, baby daddy situations because we too busy. You know, you meet a sister or brother at the club, y'all feeling each other. Next thing you know, they end up in the bed with one another. Then lo and behold, next couple months somebody's hollering about them being pregnant, and then you're bringing forth a seed that you don't know. 2 years later on down the line, got problems with the mother. Why? Because she can't stay out the club. Because she going out too much. She likes to smoke, likes to drink, you know. But had you taken the time to properly plant that seed and nurture and water to make sure they was gonna grow properly, you wouldn't have had that problem.
And another thing is, a lot of people they're not used to having other people around. Okay, even like me right now, I'm a single man, and I'm kind of used to being single. I've been single for a while, and if I was to have like another person around me every day in and day out, day in and day out, I just might, you know, respond to it in a funny way one time. Like, oh, I'm so used to being by myself. I just want to be by myself. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm putting down. I'm picking it up. You understand? Some
Right,
people they're so used to being by themselves they don't have the ability to put their feet in the next person's shoes, or they don't know how to actually be in a true relationship. And especially if they're only in it for the sex, you have nothing there. It's nothing substantial. Success is not there in a situation like that.
right. I agree.
So a lot of I would like to touch on a few topics here. I say approximately 25 more minutes. Is that cool?
That's fine.
All right. Something question I want to ask. I saw something like someone was saying something about like how it was nasty to have like multiple partners. Just being in a situation, they came at polygamy like that. You have multiple partners, you're having da 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 da. What's your views on that? There's going to be some bumping and grinding going on, and
Well, again, that has
like
to come.
like you said, natural in nature, right?
And begins, yeah, because I hear that a lot, especially within, the Israelite community. That's the thing, oh, y'all laying down, that's nasty. You're sharing each other's DNA, pH balances is all off. And I can see that, from just from the a health standpoint. But
Hmm.
again, that has to come with, people are going to exercise polygyny, walk into those type of relationships. That all comes with everyone sitting down and planting the proper seeds. You got to make sure that everyone is in you know on the same spiritual plane, because that's very important. Because we all know that once you start laying with each other, that is a transfer of energy, not just
Hmm.
necessarily spiritually, but we are dealing with DNA. We
Uh-huh.
are with different physical component, other aspects of the chemical makeup of our bodies, especially being women, because each woman's pH balance is not the same. And
Hmm.
those are things that all have to be discussed and talked about. Making sure everyone is going to the doctors and everyone's being checked and everyone is eating the type of diets that we all have, because
Hmm.
that also can throw off a lot of, that can cause chemical imbalances within the brain and within the body. You see, um, the transfer of sperm, because the one thing what a man is doing once he is laying his seed in a woman, he's basically creating the code is a different DNA code that's coming about, and sperm, from my understanding, of a man can be in a woman for up to 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
You see, so you got this man laying, and that's why even as sisters, that's why in regards to polygamy, because that's also done in other parts of the country, in other parts of the world, like Africa, where the
Uh,
woman,
Indonesia, Indonesia as well.
right, has more than one husband. Like I seen over in Africa, there's a woman over there that has 5 husbands. I actually seen her do an interview. So I'm like, you have 5 husbands, and they're all laying their seed in you. Well, I mean, you got, shoot, the DNA code for the next 15 years within your body of each one of those men. So, she bringing forth a child. The baby can come out looking like the man she done laid with, 10 years prior. The science is really deep when we start dealing.
You don't necessarily support polyandry. You support polygamy more than you support polyandry.
Again, I had to become, I'm very neutral in situations.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I, I I really honestly, like I said, when and I have to be very clear when I say support, meaning that if it works for you, and everyone is in agreement, hey, you got my blessings.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not for either union in all actuality, not not polyandry or polygyny. To be honest, I could not see myself in either union. But again, to each their own. And like I said, it's because, we're dealing with so many different components. And, I'm a very spiritual person. So, soul ties are very real. And like I said, there's different things that we all have to take into consideration when you're dealing with, chemistry and DNA and, emotional and spiritual imbalances, especially on the spiritual aspect. That's why everyone has to be on the same plane, on the same level, you know. Because if you're dealing with a person that is vibrating at a lower frequency, and you're laying with a person that has a higher frequency, that's going to throw that all off. And then we start dealing with other issues, of having health issues, or dealing with a mental illness and so forth like that. It becomes a chemical imbalance, like the other substance that enters into the body. I mean, that can also happen spiritually as well. It's just not always the silence of a substance in regards to whether it be drugs, but sex can also damage the body just as well.
That's a great perspective.
I have a question. One more. This is I fully understand that. I don't want to cut you off though, Queen.
Nope.
All right. My next question now is I would like to know. This is highly, highly important. This is another important one. Uh, I'm aware that you know, me wanting multiple women, and if I was in a situation like that, wanting multiple women, it's possible that one of my wives they would feel some type of way about the other wife. Not just any type of way. My wife will feel like she's not good enough for me because I'm attracted to the other wife. I would feel the same way what is that, a polyandry situation. I'm not having that. That goes against my law.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what are your views on that topic?
You mean
You
in regard
understand? These are people who
the
uh,
polyandry,
yeah,
woman dealing with multiple men.
yeah, she wants to be a multiple. I feel as though that's against nature. It goes against the laws of nature. I'm not with that aspect. I don't see success in that.
I mean,
Am I being selfish with my view, or like is that legitimate? Do you see the same? Do you
it's
look at it
not.
like
it's not being selfish. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't know where everyone is in regards to where they're at spiritually, but I mean, if we have to go back to, you know, dealing with universal law again, like I said, if we look how everything is conducted, you know, how the animal in the animal kingdom, it's always more the male, you know, the male is laying with more than one female. You know, you know, he comes and he makes his mark. Um, it's very seldom that, you know, we see, or, you know, have multiple men, you know, gravitate to one female. But if we look at our forefathers and our foremothers, our forefathers had more than one woman. Not
So
saying that was right or wrong, but all of humankind was created by four women.
for a woman, you said for a woman,
Four women, yes.
or no, the number four, or
It was
cater
four
to,
women. It was four.
catering to.
It was four women that gave
Oh,
birth to. You know, I mean, in regards to for my beliefs and where I come from, as being a daughter and a daughter of Abraham, our forefather. And like I said, this all goes back to, you know, I know everyone is probably from different walks of life, but, you know, in regards to civilization and my understanding of how we all began, you know, all of our people was brought forth by four women.
okay.
Garth, I had this written down
Mhm.
earlier, but we got sidetracked and never came back to it. But I would say that um, women are geared, like, pulled towards monogamy more than they do polygamy, as far as polyandry. Like, I don't think polyandry is like a big popular thing, because women are usually find satisfaction in a man, and the only thing that usually makes them want to go cheat or go get the attention of another man is the lack of attention. So that's why I was
Right.
so
That's right.
that's why I was asking. Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you absolutely, sister. Because we women, we deal with everything from an emotional standpoint, as males deal with everything from a physical standpoint. So, you know, a woman, you know,
Yeah, so
from an
there
emotional
was someone
standpoint.
else on the line that was saying, that was having a discussion with us, and was saying that if he was to get, if a man was to get all three of his wives pregnant at the same time, and there was some emotional bickering back and forth between the women, that the women should practice sisterhood in order to rectify their feelings, because the man shouldn't have any concern for their feelings. So I'm curious as
Oh,
to.
Yeah, I just gotta show it off, you know. Garth did Julep one time. I had to say it. It was kind of hard. Sorry to
no,
interrupt you.
that's fine.
This is a
Right,
commercial.
and that is, you know, and that
I,
right there, that's, you know, a lack of consideration. Because again, you know, you're still you have to take in mind that you're dealing with these women, and we're, you know, again, we're emotional beings. So, you know, for a man to feel like, okay, well, I got all three of these women pregnant, you know, they got to get along, and I don't have nothing to do with it. You know, let me stay up out of this, and I can't be, you know, benevolent to each one of my quote unquote wives, because that's what they would be at that point. You know, that's a bit barbaric. You know, from how I see that, for you not to, you know, want to, you know, give the necessary kind of affection and love to each one of those women and such, because it's very hard. And like I said, I've experienced it with with other sisters, you know, that are living in these type of relationships.
um, can I say something? So you speaking about affection
Hmm.
and these type of things, catering to the woman's emotion.
Right, because we're emotional beings.
I don't think it should be a problem, like by by any man to be able to do that. Like that would want to be in a position like that. You know, you must have a lot of love to give, right? Or you guys don't agree with that?
Well, he
This is
he
a
loves
passionate man, a passionate about his woman, the right guy, the right king for the right
right,
job, for
right,
this job.
right,
Yeah.
and that's why I said polygyny is not for every man. It's not for everyone because this is something that has to be practiced and it has to be done, on a certain level spiritually.
I think you should say that again. Can you say that one more time, kind of loud and powerful? Say it again.
Oh, polygyny is not for everyone. It has to be practiced by those that are on the same spiritual level. And
Okay.
it has to be grounded. It's not for everyone. And when you have people that are unqualified, because that's what this becomes. And
True. I like that.
were talking earlier in regards to the disasters that happen in polygynous relationships, it's because they're not qualified. It's
Not
simple as put. They're
not
not
for
qualified.
everyone. I like that. Not
It's not
qualified.
for everyone, and everyone,
I shit.
they're not qualified. It takes a certain level, in regards to where you need to be spiritually and spiritually first, spiritually grounded,
True.
especially as a
True.
male. So as a man, as a king, he has to be complete within himself in order to deal with such.
Queen, you have some like some conscious men out here who's preying on women with the knowledge.
Oh,
Like they're using the knowledge and they're preying
uh-huh.
on women to get themselves into polygamous relationships,
Yeah, the
making real
whoremongers.
kings, genuine men. They making us look bad.
Right, the whoremongers. Those are
Yeah,
the
yes.
whoremongers.
How can a woman identify someone like how can you remember what I was saying about the three levels of being? How do
Right, yeah,
you
definitely.
how
I,
you know?
I can tell
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
first and foremost where he's at within his spiritual walk. If you got a man that's, the only thing, constantly, if he's talking about, hey, I can go out here and do this, or, I'm God, so, I'm allowed to go out here and have more than one woman. Okay. All right. Then I need to look into that man's background and say, okay, what
Thank you.
qualifies you to be able to take care of more than one wife? You financially stable? I mean, are you spiritually grounded? Is your relationship solidified with your creator decrease to the creator, because that's the only man that's going to be able to uh carry on and that's qualified himself into the will of the creator, then he's not qualified by any man.
I follow
you
you.
know he cannot be a lover of himself, and those are the men that are making it disaster for brothers.
Sorry.
So you saying that's not a
I'm like,
lover of
straight
itself.
up,
You brought up self
sister.
love. You brought up self. Oh, sorry. Were you saying something?
Oh no, the ones,
All right.
the lovers, the men. I call them lovers of men. Lovers of
Okay.
himself.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't be a man that's 100% loving of himself and not loving of his creator first.
True.
You see?
But I guess this is like a letter straight man. This is a bitter man. This is a man who got his feelings hurt one too many times. Who stuck on who stuck on the solution that what helped him heal at the first time in the beginning. You see, whatever helped that person heal, they're gonna hold on to that forever for the rest of their life. Some people, I know that strength is the ability to withstand pressure. I know a lot of grown men who cannot withstand the pressure.
Right. And unless you can, and this is the thing, being and I'm a woman, but looking at these, some of my brothers that are in these relationships, you know, the first thing he has to be able to withstand is pressure.
Hmm.
You know, if he can't withstand just the pressures of going out here and being a black man walking outside his door, he need not to exercise trying to be a black man that's gonna go out here and try to hold down a kingdom with about 5 or 6 queens.
That's another important thing that you said. Right? Because that right there, a lot of people would learn from what you just said right there about relationships. Period. Um,
Right? He got to be able that, as a man, as a king, he has to be able to withstand all the pressures of this world first and foremost.
mhm. That's
Because that's
big.
because one thing that's going to be able to qualify him as a man that's going to be able to successfully run a polygynist or be a polygynist. Period.
I want to go as far as say that's what's going to qualify him as a man.
I mean,
How are you going to
hey,
lead a family? How are you going to be the leader of the family or a nation and you fold under pressure?
that's right. And
You
that's what,
see,
and
that's
that's
not a
where,
man to me. That's not a man to Garth.
no, it's not. And that's where a lot of, our people are falling short getting into these relationships. It's like you wasn't able to deal with the pressures of the world, but then you turn around and you wanted to build a kingdom, but now you can't even build with the pressure up on your own kingdom.
This is true. So I
So
don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
so I think the first thing that, we have to do as a people within our own communities is being able to teach, our young black men how to deal with the pressures of the world first and foremost. How to deal with being a black man and having to face that has against him to make him fail.
Hmm.
Okay. So until our brothers can go out here and successfully learn how to overturn a system that was designed to keep them, stagnant and not able to rise, then that's when we can talk about building kingdoms. Because it's going to take a king to be able to reign over his kingdom. You can't be a king in another man's kingdom.
True. So that goes back to the polyandry thing. I was building with a queen. Shouts out to Quashanta Ama. Shouts out to the queen. Also want to shout out Trisha. Queen Quashanta. She kind of her build was in regards to polyandry. Am I saying it right? Polyandry,
Yeah,
right?
polyandry. Mm-hmm.
Um, she's an open-minded sister. She was just presenting the topic to me, and she kind of educated me on the subject. The conversation was somewhat tit for tat. This is how I was perceiving it. But the queen, she did have a solid, a point of view. She did have a solid point of view. If I was to say, hey, I want three wives, she would say, hey, I want, three kings. I was able
Mm-hmm.
to, I'm listening to her with ears willing to compromise somewhat. I still found it hard to compromise with having my queen out there, like, doing God knows what with other kings. You get me? What's mine is mine. From a man's point of view, from Garth, what's mine is mine. I don't share my drawers, so I won't, I'm not going to be willing to share my queen.
Right.
A person who I'm providing for. I'm a man too.
Right.
For her to have want another man, that means I am not a man or enough man for her, or I'm not good enough of a provider for her. I'm going to feel disrespected. I I care
Right.
about how the woman would feel if I am in a situation like that. If it's that deep and I really love that woman, I would say forget polygamy. I would put that to the side. I would sacrifice that in this life.
Right.
I guess where I'm getting at, uh, you know, polyandry. Is that what are your views on that? Is that because you have some sisters that feels that way? That powerful black woman, the independent black woman who doesn't need a man, who's strong, who can fight battles for herself and this type of stuff. I can see a sister like that believing into polyandry. I feel as though it goes against nature. I feel as though no success is there. I feel as though it's destruction. Is a lot of
Well,
destruction behind it.
I'm one of those black women, but I don't. But I'm not for polyandry. So I am that strong black independent woman to the point to where I can say I don't need a man, but then again, that defies the laws of nature.
I meet a lot of those sisters
And
who
we,
who do
and
not
again, it's
like
because of
who
society that has taught them that. That has taught them because that goes to basically I'm just gonna break all the way down. When a white man decides to get a black woman everything and take everything and strip it from the black man, then that woman develops that type of mentality to where she feels she doesn't need a man because the white man has taught her she don't need her black man. She can go out here and she can get a better job than a black man nowadays. She can go and get a loan as opposed to the black man getting a loan. I mean, that's where the independent mentality comes from to where no, I don't need you, but I can go out here and get and have and do whatever I want to do with the next one. And that is destroying our system because naturally we were not created like such to live in these type of unions. as a
True.
black woman. You see, the black woman is delicate. You know, why would you want to open up your womb and to become a cesspool? Because that's what that turns into.
True. I
Like,
agree.
like I said, you might basically you become a community landfill,
I
having all
guess
these.
I guess I might be speaking for the black woman on because I have a converse dialogues like this a lot. Okay, so what about that feeling of being like, okay, he thinks she is more beautiful than I am? What about the black woman's insecurity? Well, my woman's insecurity.
What
Or
do you
what
mean?
if what if okay, what if it's not even a polygamous relationship? You know, I have one queen, and you know, a beautiful woman walks past, and she gets upset because this woman is beautiful. It has nothing to do with me. She gets upset because this woman is beautiful and desirable. She might get
Well,
upset before I even
those,
see the woman.
well, that's her dealing with her own insecurities. I mean, that sister has to, first, do some self introspection as to why she feels that way when her sister walks past
I don't think a lot of women will tell the truth on this subject that I'm bringing up right now, but I
her.
see it a lot. I've been in the position too many times. Um,
That's because
Is this a woman not fit? Is this a woman that this situation a relationship is not for? Is this
oh,
a woman not fit to be in a relationship?
most definitely no. If a woman is, yeah. In regards to any woman walking into a polygynous relationship, that woman has to be 100% secure within herself first and foremost.
What if it's not a polygamous relationship? What if it's just a standard relationship? You still would have this woman with this same issue.
Well, then you would. I mean, again, you wouldn't have no issue with that woman if she's the only one in the relationship. She's just gonna deal with those issues by herself. You don't have to
They'll
deal
come out. Okay, I've been in situations. I'm
with.
not a cheater. Okay, I'm not a cheater. If I'm going to cheat on my wife, I'm a leaver. Or if I'm
And
having feelings,
you don't
I'm gonna tell you
necessarily
like, man, I think this, that, and the third. You know, I'm gonna be
say.
open as possible. That's me. I
So
don't.
so
Yes.
so what let me so that I understand what you're asking. So basically what you're saying is if you're dealing in a monogamous relationship and you're dealing with a sister that's just got these insecurities every time she see another sister that looks just as good or look better than her walk past you, you two are out in public and she instantly starts to, feel a certain way because she think you looked at her and then all of a sudden, that's she's an insecure woman. And then that's when she needs to check herself and try to understand why she is dealing with that type of insecurity when her sister walks past her. You
So a
know,
lot of times, I don't not to cut you off, but I don't want to like have it's open. It's like a vast type of thing. It's not just feeling jealous when the sister walks by. It is in another form. It is like, okay, I don't need a man. I don't even respect a man. I just want to, like, to receive his benefits. It's a mental. It's like a lot of mental things, and I feel like as though
well that
men
comes
men too men too men too.
that's
Okay,
right.
I learned that I need to keep it well equal. Because a lot of people, we like to point the finger, but it's all of us. It's all of us. We all need to hold all of ourselves accountable so we can heal. It's very deep. It's deep. We some
Right. And
man. It's,
in order for us to heal, we must go to the root of the problem. We must understand who we are and where we came from in order to be able to successfully correct the problems that we deal with. When you're dealing with when you're dealing with a people that have become so displaced, from century after century, and stripped of their language, stripped of their heritage, stripped of their culture, and don't know where they come from. This is what we've been left with. You see, so that is our issue as a people in its entirety. We're dealing with, we don't have we up until this point. Many of us still don't know what we are, and who we are, because our identity was stolen from us. So, in order to correct the problems overall, we have to go back to the root of where they started and where they came from.
true.
Can I
That's the answer.
add my part? I think that there's a lot of different people, men and women, that are very sick, and we've been we're all sick to a certain extent, but some people they're sick in a way that they refuse to take accountability for themselves or to look at themselves and their behavior. So to answer your question, I would say, stick in there and see if that person is willing to work on themselves. Because some
Right.
people, they start off with low self-esteem because, as you were saying, some people are alone for a long time. Some people, they've gone through trauma that they have low self-esteem and they just need someone, to help them build their self-esteem. So as a man, if your woman is feeling that sort of way, you should, do what is in your power to sort of help her boost her self-esteem, which
Right.
you could do by giving her compliments, by, showing that that even if she doesn't look like that, because some people, they project the image that they want for themselves as an image that they will never be, and what they need to learn is to accept themselves for exactly who they are. So if a man goes ahead and he tries to instill that within a woman, and she follows his lead and starts doing things to boost her self-esteem, and she's moving out of that situation that she was already trained to be in, then that's a situation where the person is good. But some people really, they're really sick and they will never, they won't take direction. Every time
Right.
you compliment them, they refuse to take that, and they really don't believe the compliment. And that's something that is up to the man to make the decision that, hey, maybe this woman has a lot to work on, maybe I should fall back and give her some space.
That's
Right.
interesting. That's interesting. Just a quick question. Do you think any of this is going on in the community, like presently? Do you think this is like a popular thing? What you just said, is that popular? Is that a lot of people acting upon that right now?
I don't think that a lot of men are taking initiative to help women to gain their own esteem in themselves. No, I don't feel like that, because of the fact that you could be in a personally, I've been in a relationship. I'm a tall, thin girl. But I've been in a relationship and my dude is like right next to me and looking at photos of thick girls online, and we talk and he's like, no, I love you the way that you are, but this is just something to look at, and this and this. And it's like, well, how does that make me feel? That's not even my body type.
Right.
That's like sort of crazy. So men
Right.
have to be very cautious, and be very cautious with the decisions that they make. Just because another woman I acknowledges another woman's beauty does not mean that you tag along, unless you are at that stage with your woman. And if you guys are at that stage, then that's a great stage to move into a polygamous stage. But sometimes women are working within themselves to build their self-esteem. So if they see another woman, they might check them out, or whatever. But if another
Right.
man engages, if her man engages, like, oh yeah, 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 because he thinks that his girl is bi or down or whatever the case may be, then she's like, wait, hold on, I don't look like, she's trying
Right.
to build her esteem. So I feel like a lot of men need to be
Considerate.
more, yes, way more considerate and more conscious of
Yeah.
who they're dealing with,
Yeah.
because we're not all the same at all.
We're not.
And they'll take techniques that worked with another relationship or a home girl. They think because they have a lot of female home girls that they can, sort of reciprocate that same relationship. And it's like, no, like Elle said, we are very tender, especially when it has to do with our looks, because our looks has been demonized on us. It looks good. You guys,
Right.
from the general perspective, I was just going to say you guys, but you're not in that situation. But men in general, they love our features on other women and
Right.
don't really acknowledge it in us. So,
Right.
I think a lot of men should practice more. Um, what is that fancy word for courting people?
Well, we
Yeah,
just courting.
courting. courting, you
What
know,
the
but
word? You talking about a word that doesn't exist anymore?
We
You talking about
talking
chivalry? Are you
chivalry.
talking?
chivalry, chivalry,
That
that's
what you
the
talking
word.
about?
Chivalry,
You talking about?
chivalry.
You talking about? All right.
Chivalry.
So hold on. Are you saying men should be more thirsty? Is that what you're saying,
No,
Queen?
it's not thirsty.
Yes.
Listen, we got to get rid of these terms.
Men should
Not
be more thirsty.
thirsty terms. There's nothing wrong with the man.
Being
Like
thirsty.
chivalry. It's not being thirsty because this is the thing. As a black woman, we are. I mean, these are people, but as a black woman, there's nothing more beautiful than a sister. Period. Point blank. We are the prototype for everything walking on the face of this planet. Every woman comes from us. We are the mold. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you know that you are the mold and you know that you are the cream of the crop, it's like our men need to, adhere to such because we are all one and the same. We are, the mothers and fathers of civilization. And there's nothing more beautiful than us. We come in many various shapes, sizes, and colors, full lips, slanty eyes. I mean, that's what makes us a beautiful people, the variations of it. There's no other people on the face of the planet like us. So,
Ha.
it does become a bit disheartening when, we have our brothers, like the sister said, they are admiring these features that we possess naturally that some one of these other heathen nations that went out here and got bought, they getting booty implants. You got white girls getting butt implants now, butt injections, lip injections, and you got our brothers over there loving it. And it's like, hello, but hey, here, the sister over here with a natural,
Put us
it's
in some of your videos.
right, right,
Sure.
you know. So then you got our sisters going out here and doing damage to themselves because now they feel like, oh, well, I got my brother over here looking at this white chick. Now I gotta go get my lips thin, and now I gotta go get a nose job. I gotta start bleaching my skin. You know, that's just projecting further self hate. So as a people, we have to learn how to start loving each other more. Embrace your sister, embrace your brother. Don't be afraid, brothers out there, don't be afraid to pop up, how our grandparents did back in the day. You come to, court, can I take you out on a date? Bring a rose. Something. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Bring a
Something.
rose. You could bring me a bag of rocks, something with a bow on it. It's just let us start back there how our grandparents and our grandmothers were. And that's what we're missing in today's society because those type of institutions when we started out as, loving each other, when we was really, really loving each other, they're gone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not there anymore
Black
because
men get way too black men get way too
way too
comfortable with
comfortable.
black women too quickly. They don't
Right,
think that I don't know if it's that they think that we don't deserve chivalry in courting, but when they get with other races of women, they make sure and they don't have a problem spending money. They're not talking
right,
about half and half or anything like that. They have no
right.
problem spending money. They have no problem courting. They will go out of their way to meet these people's families and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Things that they do not give us at all.
Right. And it's sad because again, I think this is something that just we are just suffering from. It's deep down. Subconsciously, it's just something that we've gone through. Are people dealing with Stockholm syndrome? I mean, this is what this has come. It's been embedded within us. It's been embedded within us as a race of people overall. And we're still dealing with the effects of what our ancestors went through in slavery up until this day. You know, we are very much our ancestors' DNA. Our ancestors are very much alive in us all. So we're
Oh,
still
Ashe.
with the aftermath and the after effects of what our ancestors have gone through. You see, and that's what it is. It's still self hate. Like the brother was saying. What is it when a woman, if the sister walks by another woman, and all of a sudden she got an attitude. That's that self hate. That's embedded within that DNA. That's that the aftermath of Stockholm syndrome. That we continue to deal with as a people. You know, I hate the light skinned sister because I'm dark. or because that's how they did us in slavery. Our ancestors, they separated the light skin from the dark skin. The dark skin was forced to work, out in the fields. The light skin was up in the house. You see? So then, of course, you got the dark skinned sisters or the dark skinned brothers hating the light skinned brothers and the light skinned sisters because they get to stay in the house all day with master.
Mm-hmm.
Same, no different than what we go through right now. So, when you got, brothers on there, making comments like, oh, well, she cute for a dark skinned sister. What's that supposed to mean? Oh,
And where did that come from?
you pretty to be dark. That's where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
It came from what we went through and what our ancestors went through during slavery. Because we were taught to believe that light skin is better than dark skin. And that light skin was better. Why? Because you resemble closer to the master.
And many black men, they do not want to get with black women. They have trained themselves this because they don't want their children to be dark. So they're already dark, and now they want to give their child a chance. And it's like, what?
Diluting the blood. You want to further do what the oppressor has done to our people for 430 plus years, dilute the blood. So it's like you dark as all cold, but you want to go out here and get you something that looks like Angelina Jolie. Why? Because you're afraid of your child coming out looking like you.
Sure.
Because you feel that your child, if they're dark, they're not going to be afforded the opportunities as opposed to a light-skinned child would. And it's sad, but that is the truth and reality.
That is, and it also supports a hidden agenda. I was taught to kind of like, gravitate towards light skinned women,
See?
before I could know anything. That's what I was taught.
You were taught by who?
I'd rather not really say that in this video, but I was taught.
But was it personal or was it by television?
It was personal.
Okay. Well, you see, and that's just, and see, my brother, that's because they were taught the same thing too. And again, that is the after effects of slavery, because this is generational, one of the generational curses that we talked about. That's a generational curse. All these curses that our people are later on, centuries down the line, are still affected by. So we're taught to, when you get older, make sure you marry your light skinned sister, so your children can come out a little bit lighter, son.
And I must say that taught me to somewhat hate myself, and not only that, I would gravitate towards light skinned women. I just wouldn't know it'd be at one point in my life. Matter of fact, I promise you. Hey, if you look at all of my ex-girlfriends, they are all light-skinned women.
And see, that was the thing. I see, and we see that today a lot. You see a lot more of dark-skinned men with lighter-skinned women, and then vice versa, light-skinned women with darker-skinned men. And I think it's because of us trying to, we're trying to fight what is there subconsciously that we don't wish to deal with, on up front, on the outer. So we're dealing with our own hidden agendas and don't even know it, because the agenda started and was embedded within us by our oppressor. And subconsciously, we have just grown up and and then, with media, because the media don't do any better. When you're constantly, seeing programs, there's always a light-skinned sister, light-skinned sister, light-skinned sister, the dark skin.
That's the agenda. That is the agenda of the media. It's always been that way. It used to not be no black people on TV.
Right. So you're dealing with, so you're dealing with this, again, systematic, and it has led to systematic genocide of our people. Going out here and feeling like we got to go ahead and just basically just eliminate ourselves, annihilate ourselves, because of what we've been programmed to do for centuries as a people. And it started with, interbreeding and, rape of our ancestors, because they felt, hey, they wanted to try to survive through our gene, through our line. And at the end of the day, that's what the agenda really is, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's to annihilate the black man and black woman off the face of the planet. So the
Ah,
only
good
way,
luck.
right? The only way you could do that is to wipe out, you know, our color. Period. Dilute, 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 dilute until you get a race of people, a race of mulatto people that's like back to albinos.
Mm-hmm.
They can sustain and carry out their gene line, their race of people. That's always been the agenda, and it's the reason why they did what they did and continue to do, and why they program us to do the same thing: mix lighter, mix lighter, mix lighter. You know, go out here and damage yourself because again, when with these sisters out here, another thing, when these sisters out here bleaching their skin, they're actually destroying the amount of melanin within the genetic makeup anyway, to where you can mess around and then the child does come out a speck or a spotted because you have basically defined the genetic code of the melanin that makes us. I mean, they've been trying to break the code for centuries to figure out how to successfully clone themselves as us anyways.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
I mean, it takes. I mean, I've been conscious for like about 17 plus years, and just you read some books, Blackout Through Whitewash. Even the papers by Dr. Chris Wessling. I mean, she talks. All these things are being talked about on the years and years of what they've done to try to basically you know eliminate us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now we are doing it. We're doing it ourselves as a people to where they don't have to do much of any of it anymore. They just provide the means. You know, provide the necessary avenues for us to do it, and then we go out there and do it ourselves.
Yep, I see it.
It's all traps and all like booby traps and contractual aspects.
Contracts,
Yeah, there you
contracts.
go. All
They
contracts.
Contract.
contracts. Yes.
It's all a contract. It's like you want it, here you go. They'll put it in our hand. You know what I'm saying? We'll go ahead and pass the bill. Like
Yep.
abortion was created to wipe out the black race.
Yep.
Wasn't us? I mean, case in point, eugenics, genocide was never for. It was never about having a choice. It was supposed to annihilate all the black, eliminate all the brown babies. Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood. You know, we got to look at. You can go to every hood. There's a Planned Parenthood center or a women's center on every other block, but you won't see that in Beverly Hills. You won't see that in the Hiltons. You won't see that up in the Hamptons. You
Well, that's
won't see
true.
Oregon. You won't see that in North Dakota. You won't see that in South Dakota. But you can go to the in the inner parts of Oakland. You can go to Chicago, Detroit, and you got one on every block, just like a liquor store and a gun store, all by design.
Mm-hmm.
You see. So
So,
in certain aspects, when it comes to the topics of polyandry and polygyny, I can see where it could stand um, beneficial, but not here in this land. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it all the way 100. In regards to it being done here in the United States, no, no. If our people can get it together to where they would want to leave this country and go
mhm.
and build in another part of the world and live by universal law and basically reprogram and tear down the very system that has kept us down and rebuild, then yes, I would be 100% for polygyny in that aspect.
I totally understand. But if there was like a group of individuals that wanted to practice it, do you think they would be able to be successful here in the United States, looking to move out the United States and pursue a good life?
I mean, I know a couple of people, well, families like that are, good. I mean, they're doing it.
Hmm.
And they also plan on leaving the United States, taking their families. I have a brother that has four wives.
Hmm.
So he's planning on taking. You know, they have four. He has four wives. They have 13 children, and they'll be leaving to go to Ghana
Wow.
next year.
To Ghana?
To Ghana.
I'm actually looking to go to Ghana. I have a good friend of mine who's promising dual citizenship. He is the ambassador, the international ambassador for Ghana. I have a group of people who I'm united with right now. We in the beginning of this year we were studying and looking to go to Tanzania, Africa. In
Okay.
Tanzania,
Okay. Tanzania was on my list. Tanzania, even Accra is good. There's a couple brothers and sisters that we got over in Ghana that are establishing, the communities. I got some people over there now building. I mean,
okay, I
I
want to ask, are you brother R's wife?
Eliyahu's wife.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I was just making sure.
Yes, I am.
Do you want to this is a great platform. Do you want to promote some of your businesses? Because right now I'm at the Starbucks, they're about to close, so this is a perfect time to promote our businesses and kind of come to a closing.
Oh, okay. We're both designers. Me and my husband are also. I deal in a financial aspect, so my background is financial planning and awareness in regards to you know showing our people how to properly invest, taking care of the credit score, so forth like that, because that's very important.
Hmm.
So that's what I do overall. I have 20 years of financial background. I have a bachelor's in marketing and business, so real estate planning, implementation, contract acquisition, and law. I think we got a delay. I think I got delayed there.
Yeah, I hear you now though.
I hear you
Oh,
clear.
So you can let them know how to reach you, like as far as
uh,
any social media or anything like that, if they wanted your
yeah,
services.
on Facebook. So it's Sayel Mina Mikael. My husband is Cohen Eliyahu Ben Aharon. So we're both on Facebook. If you be and we're friends, Garth. Actually, I believe that's how you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I remember that day. I appreciate it. Definitely do.
That's so on Facebook. My website, my company is Unity Investment Group. How I'm structuring the website. It should be up and running after the first of the year.
Okay.
And that I added a couple more facets up under the umbrella overall. But
I'm
yeah,
actually into the real estate, and if you're talking about tax delinquency investments, I am down.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, my forte. So anything that has to do with that, pre foreclosures.
Hmm.
Any families that may be going through a financial crisis,
Hmm.
dealing with pre foreclosure, foreclosure, current foreclosure. That's my
Hmm.
forte. I know that business like the back of my hand.
That's perfect. So everyone who's watching this right now or will be watching it, definitely reach out to the queen. You heard what she said. How about you, Nella? You got anything you would like to promote?
Um, I'm an astrologer. If you'd like to get a reading, please contact me at cosmiccurrency@gmail.com. So there's going to be a double C in there. Cosmic Currency. Oh, sorry. Cosmic Currency Exchange at gmail.com.
Okay. Cosmic Currency Exchange at gmail.com. If you would like a reading, contact the queen. Any other shout outs?
To Garth for creating this platform. Thanks so much, and thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it. I'm Garth the jeweler. Have a little bit of my jewelry with me. I do the rings.
Okay.
Would like to shout out Philippa Imani. Follow Philippa Imani for blessing me with this great sweatshirt. I really love it. She's a designer as well. And follow Piffany Lamar for this excellent hat right here. PIPHANY_LEMUA on Instagram and Facebook. I appreciate all the viewers. Um, Definitely want to try to do this again next week. Would you guys be down? Both of your queens? Next week is a different build. I'll contact you and let you know what the subject will be if you're
Yeah,
down.
definitely.
All right. So yeah, definitely, I'm curious and eager to watch this again. I'm sure this is something new. This is the beginning of something new, and I'm looking forward to building with you guys again next week on another topic. This was great. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you guys for allowing me to come. I'm sorry I was late. I got the invite late. I believe my husband was on earlier,
Yeah,
so he was on. So then I had traveled. I'm here in Ohio, so I just was like, well, let me go ahead and take the invite, get on real quick, give my 2 cents. So I hope I was able to.
We did appreciate you.
yeah, you definitely blessed the scene with your intellect. I definitely appreciate it too, Queen. Definitely.
Okay. Well,
So,
until we all meet again, peace and blessings, family.
all
Take
right, fam.
care.
All right, peace, Queen. All right.